This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and today we are here for Week 3 in the Sim Racing Systems Simpit Porsche Carrera Cup. Week 3, Race 1. We will have Race 1 tonight, Race 2 tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, same time as this race here, and we are in the race room already. We are running in the Porsche Carrera RSR 3-liter. An incredible car, little touchy. If you watched last season, we did the MX-5. This is Week 3. I actually missed Week 2. I was out of town. Hopefully everybody had a good race without me. But we are here for race week number 3. Let me turn down my microphone a little bit. Seems a little sensitive today. And I'll talk a little quieter. Don't want to blow out your eardrums. But if you were here yesterday, we did work on our setup. We improved it quite a bit over Week 1's setup, so we definitely are a little more confident in the car, a little more stable under braking. It is a twitchy car, so anybody who was here yesterday for that show, thank you very much for the help with the setup. And today we're going to put it to good use, and I think next week when we work on setup, what we'll do is focus on building a qualifying setup. So today I'm just going to run my race setup in qualifying. It means I'll be able to back up the lap times that I do all race long. Not exactly my everyday approach to things, but it should put us somewhere on the grid for a good, fun spot. And yes, we're at Nurburgring GP circuit today, so good. One of my favorite racetracks. This track has a lot of elevation change, a lot of varying different corners. You got some, short, fast corners. You got some 180s. You got some heavy braking zones, some good passing zones, and it does make for some great racing. If you haven't watched us on Sim Racing Systems, the races are only 20 minutes long, so this is not going to be a very long stream in general. We will have a quick qualifying session as soon as practice finishes, and I believe practice is kind of wrapping up. It should be in the next few minutes. I'm not going to worry too much about practice. I'm just kind of, I want to give you the perspective of everything I go through setting up for a race. Normally I'd put a little more prep time in, but today is about the stream as much about the race. Yeah, we worked on a setup yesterday, and it is available in the forum at the Simpit. So if you go there and look under driving school, you'll see a new heading for today's setup. Wheel. I'm using the Sparco TS XW Racer steering wheel with the Sparco 310mm suede wheel. I'm using the T3 PA pedals that come along with it. I am not using the shifter, and despite that being one of our big topics of this series as we go along, today I'm still testing this wheel for what it's worth. It does not come with a shifter. I am testing it as it is. I just installed the conical brake mod, but I haven't even turned a single lap on it yet. So in qualifying, I'm going to be adjusting to a totally different brake pressure than we ran in practice yesterday. We did do setup and we did do practice yesterday, so I am a little fresh to the track. Hey Hams, how you doing, buddy? Go ahead and get out there for qualifying real quick. And I think today, for today's race, I'll probably talk a little less. If you watched yesterday's setup shop, I was very chatty while driving. And I think today I'm just going to take it a little bit easier on the talking and try to concentrate a little more on the driving. I do have the comments live, so I can kind of see them while I'm driving. Another thing, if you did notice that we had that audio change, my chat window for some reason stopped working and I had to change things, but it actually led to a good thing, because what we're going to do is actually start streaming on Twitch simultaneously. Not today, we'll start that up next week. A little bit of oversteer there. Oh, I didn't make sure, you know what? I didn't make sure that I loaded my setup. Gotta remember the basics, people. So in case you're ever in this scenario, you want to just make sure. Yep, I didn't have anything set up, loaded, so I'm glad we took a look there. And we'll head out back on track. Oh, GTI, I'm sorry you missed the registration. Ah, Steam King with track facts. I love it. Thank you so much. A little more volume for me. Yesterday on setup, you will realize that this section right here is my Achilles heel of Nurburgring. I'm pretty strong on the rest of the track. It's just that left-right I tend to really suck at. We did get into the 219s yesterday. Not great, not bad. Oh, I appreciate any input at all. Just makes the show that much cooler. Oh, a little early on the downshift. So as far as the rig goes, I'm at an R-Seat RS1. And again, running the Thrustmaster TSXW racing wheel, along with the T3 PAA pedals with the conical brake mod installed. And that's pretty much it today. I have the shifter on the rig but not connected. Again, while I'm testing the wheel, I'm going to test it the way it comes in the box. Yes, it is part of the Thrustmaster ecosystem, so it is compatible, but that's not how it comes for the retail price of $649. I keep wanting to change gears. We made that gearing change and it has me really close to running out of gear, and my brain is to shift, but there is no 6th gear in this old car. Someone overshot the chicane. Most important corner on the track right there. I did not do a great job, but it wasn't terrible. Try to shift 6th again. I'm going to be a little conservative just to make sure I get a lap in. Brake feels much better. I can jump on it a little stronger. And that conical spot where it really gets you that secondary resistance is about right where you get some brake lockup. So it's a good positioning. You got to squish a little harder at that point. So it just kind of prevents that over braking. Oh, I broke way too early there. That wasn't over braking. That was just early braking. Yeah, I would not skip that mod. If you get these pedals, it's pretty essential. In my opinion, they should just install it from the factory and it shouldn't be a mod. But I guess that's a way of looking like they, you know, are giving you something extra. Just running conservative. I just want to get one good lap in, then we can push harder on the next lap. Oh, super conservative. This is going to be like a 221. I think I'm going to run the GT3, the Blanc Pain, maybe the IMSA series on iRacing. So believe it or not, I might try to get, try to get a race in tonight or tomorrow, certainly over the weekend, in one or both of those series. Alright, here comes our first time lap. We're going to be at 221 something. 221.4. Well off our pace. You can see the Porsche really sometimes under braking. A little turning of the wheel under braking, and it just wants to let the rear end come around. Which is so... You talk to anybody who drives a Porsche, and they'll talk about off-throttle oversteer. One of the things that makes the car unique. Still too early there. I'm almost taking the line I'd have to take in a crowd, like to prevent running into the guys ahead. Quicker than last lap. Oh, I scared myself under braking there. Turned in a little early at first. I'm trying to be smoother. We all know I'm Sean the Saw Cole, driving every car like it's a rally car. Oh, Hams, too bad. Sorry, man. I hope we can get more and more people and increase the amount of servers. I could have blasted through there stronger for sure. I would imagine if you went in the forum, you could probably find teams looking for drivers. And as a driver, you might want to promote yourself. Let them know your iRating. Let them know your lap time on this week's track. Alright, 2:20.01, not our best, but not a bad lap. Puts us 7th on the grid as of right now with 1:15 left in qualifying. We do have 20 drivers in the race tonight, so I'm at least in that upper half. Gotta like that. So we'll just head back to the pits and cool down for a moment. Wait for this race to begin. Whoa. Look at that. Kidding. Yeah, there you go. Make your own team is definitely a good way to do it as well. And then invite other drivers, you know. Take advantage of this show. You know, just by talking about it now, maybe you find somebody who's looking for a teammate and you can get together. That's one of the reasons I wanted to run in that car, that series, was to keep fresh and be ready for some of the endurance races, whether they be the endurance series or the big events. You know, I have friends on iRacing. Jason, it takes time. It's that's the thing about iRacing. You know, I remember when I got into go-karting and I'd go to the paddock, and it's actually funny how uptight racer types can be when they're at the race. And I didn't make a ton of friends doing that. I made a couple, but it took time. But yeah, I would post something on the forums in iRacing. Make a thread in either the GT3 series or the Endurance series or even general discussion saying, looking to build a team. And then give your iRating. Tell them what level of driver you are, what level of team you're looking to build. And yeah, I'm playing iRacing. I'll be driving iRacing tonight. I usually say driving iRacing versus play, but that's sort of that sim versus arcade versus simcade discussion. But yeah, I'm going to run some GT3 tonight. I'm going to run the Ferrari at Sonoma, is where the Blancpain series is. Blancpain. And I'll be playing around there tonight. It's not a feeling in iRacing. You go by your iRating. If you're a 2000, you're a 2000 level driver. If you're a 2500, that's where you are. I just ran with race fuel. Yeah, Stefan. I am running, I just ran my race setup. Next week for our setup shop, I think we're going to work on building a qualifying trim and the kind of things that we can do differently, like obviously drop the fuel, but then that theoretically might lift the car up. We can then lower it back down. We can get a little bit more aggressive with camber. We're not worried about tire wear. That sounds about right. I think the highest I've ever heard is like 7,000, 7,500, something like that. Maybe 8. I've never heard of anyone at 10,000, but give you an idea, I have a 2,500 iRating. I consider myself a upper driver, maybe in the 70 to 80%. I used to be in the 90%, but now I seem to have dropped to about the 70 to 80%. And that's because I'm all over, driving this week, driving something else next week, and I don't concentrate on a series like I used to. I think if I really stopped doing anything but racing again, I could get back to 90 pretty easily. I think. That could be ego talking. Alright, getting ready for the race. 20 minutes long, not a very long race. Means if you make a big mistake, not a lot of time to make up for it. And we are gridded up. And if anybody's watching the streaming in this race, good luck. Good luck to my competitors, even though they can't hear me. I could have typed a message in, but that's okay. I still meant to do the paint job thing, so I'm seeing all stock paint jobs. I apologize to anybody. Again, I was out of town last week. I've been playing catch-up ever since, trying to do a bunch of things with the Simpit. Getting back to work and missing a whole week is brutal on the schedule. AC is all about overdriving the car. Yeah, I understand that comment. You can see I'm starting to get a little waxy effect on the wheel, but that's just what you get with suede when you grip the wheel and drive a lot. Alright, let's go. Oh, I really revved the shit out of first gear. Totally got a tear. I got a great jump, but didn't shift, and you can see one car went by, another one's making a move. Gonna have to take the long way around there. Oh, I see some bumping and banging. I had to totally get out of the gas to avoid that. Now we got some. Now we have a little bit of space, it looks like. Oh, a little too quick to the inside there. Fighting that early turn in. Come on, come on. Nope, nope. Got a great race going so far. I mean by the group collectively. Oh, I ran out of gear. I almost did the same thing. Oh, look out for orange. Collision behind me. Really conservative on that corner. I don't know why. It's a pretty easy corner. Conservative is never going to kill you. You're not going to lose. Oh, a little bump. I'm trying, Urban. Philippe, what do you mean shift pad? I gotta get a move. Orange is catching up. He's the one who spun out. He's gonna try to get back to his position around this grid of 4 slow cars for him. Yes, that is the case. I am testing a new wheel. So if you watched any of my other races, you've never seen this wheel before. And I am driving it as it came out of the box. And that is part of me doing what I do. I review, and so I am often compromising my driving consistency by having new equipment. But it also meant that, whoa, shit. Damn. So next week I should have my wheel back on, be done testing this, and I'll be on the shifter. So I apologize, because I agree, this is even more so than that Mazda, to be honest with you. Oh, shoot. I gotta shut up. Alright, I got some work to do now. Thank you. Thank you, Green. Sammy. Really torn on 3rd or 4th there with the lower gearing. Alright. It's just totally tricking me into thinking I have another gear, too. Shoot. Can't hit those bumps. Well, you can. It's just not the fast way. This will be a sucky lap. It feels very light compared to the Bodner. It is smooth. It's pretty rigid for a, you know, mostly, whoa, plastic shit. I got some foul mouth today. But it's smooth. It's very quick reaction and accurate. But the power is not even in the same league for sure. It's quieter than the Bodner. Just in general, like going down the straightaway. You can see things have really stretched out. I'm going to do my best to change that. Right there, when you come on the gas, you'll feel a push. And it's kind of hard to get a push or understeer out of this car at times. It's one of the few moments I actually get understeer. Alright, I won't adjust, but what I can do is move the microphone. How's that, hams? Not gaining on yellow like I'd like to. Not a great lap, just an okay lap, so. Will do. What I need to do is turn it down. I had to build an all new project so you guys can see the chat's different. Alright, I'll leave it like this for just a moment. We'll make that adjustment. Probably has to do with either I'm yelling or talking normal. I probably have a huge variance in my volume and affliction depending on what's going on the race. Oh, late. Come on, Cole. Blue went wide into the dirt. It's like I got the pole, but then I just run out of steam and I can't make the pass. I think the gearing we did was good for qualifying and maybe not good for the race. Ah. Late again. Off camber corner. Shouldn't have left it in fourth. Lost my pole. Ah! Downshifted too early. The ass kicked out. Only 6.5 minutes left. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Hams. Great race we are having here. I'd like to go by. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? Just ran out of everything. Five minutes. Almost made the apex that time. A little harder when you're tailing someone. Going aggressive into that downhill off-camber corner. That curb ruined that run. I ruined that run by hitting the curb. I really went too slow in. And because of that, I got on the gas too early. I think that's something we tend to do. Early throttle happens when you get impatient because you missed the corner. Hey Max, how you doing, buddy? Be nice if you could quiet down though. Hey. Max, stop it, please. Sorry guys, no avoiding that. Hey Max, stop please. You're ruining my race. You're supposed to be my helper, not my ruiner. Good, go in the other room and bark. Yeah, if you do it right, you can get back on the throttle, but if you're off the line, off the speed of the corner, which is what happened to me on that, I was not where I belonged, got on the gas way too early, got understeer, and pushed wide in the corner. I think AC does allow you to get on the gas a little early, generally speaking. I also think that AC really likes to have you just have like a tenth of gas mid-corner, just enough to keep the car balanced. Not just coasting when you think you'd be coasting. And that is not untrue of a real car's balance either, by the way. You can make a spring change the load, the weight on the wheel. I could run more negative camber. That would heat it up. I probably wouldn't isolate that tire alone all that much, though. Whoa, almost screwed it there. Oh, no. All right, one last hurrah. Oh, oh, no, Cole. That just ruined my any chance of a last-minute dive bomb into the final corner. Did I say dive bomb? I didn't mean it quite like that. You've watched me race enough. I don't dive bomb. Oh, there we go. Alright, that's the end of the race. Not bad. Finished 8th. Good field today. Gotta like that. Had fun. Had a great race with yellow. Would have liked to have been able to put it aside a little more. At times it seemed like I had the advantage. At times he seemed to have the advantage. And obviously he got the better of me. But that was fun. That was really fun. Real quick. Larry Ludwig. Great job, Larry. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I felt good. I felt mostly consistent. We had a few sketchy moments here and there. Nothing too bad. Most of the sketchy moments were me not rev matching, so when we do switch to a stick shift with this car, that'll be even more difficult. I tried it. It's not as easy as the Mazda on the shifting. I might need to switch to heel toe for such a thing, but we're going to go ahead and give that a go, because I think this is the series that I kind of look at for having the most fun I possibly can. And that's what I've been doing with SRS. So if you haven't joined us for any of the races at Sim Racing System, I highly recommend it. And the main thing is that it ends up being very, very fun. And, you know, I come out here, I do a little bit of practice, I do a little bit of work on a setup. I take it seriously, but at the same time, I want to keep it a little casual and keep having fun. So, yeah, Mr. Deep, hopefully with the H pattern, maybe it will be different. I was tearing up the gearbox, though, on downshifts, which made me think that I'm going to need to switch to heel toe. So if you just want to compare styles, I don't think you can even really compare them, because there's a reason all modern cars have gone away from an H pattern and using a clutch, because it is actually just more difficult. So in sim racing, we do have that advantage, but I am going to try to get it on the H pattern Sorry about that, you guys. Believe it or not, I'm still not done with this cold. And the main reason for that is it was allergies that I then got a cold. And then I went out of town and didn't really rest up at all when I was out of town. I noticed my webcam went out. When did that happen? Has that been out all race? That's kind of making me mad. I'm going to have to look into a different method. Scott ran with the clutch and an H-pattern. Good for you. Good for you. That's badass. Finished 15th, though. Yeah, so we see how that works. Yeah, rev matching with, you're right, it is. When you're on an H pattern, rev matching, it's like automatic. You can't even do it without it. It's like your brain just takes over. Timing it with the paddle is weird, you're right, because it's so quick here. So, yeah, anyway. And heel toe, another heel toer. Awesome. My hat's off to you guys. That is not easy, and I'm always impressed by people who can do that with great skill. I'm okay with it. We'll see next week. Maybe I'll move one of the cameras down to the feet, and we'll see. I need this camera, but we'll see. Or move it so we can see both. But I'll go ahead and go to a heel toe with the H pattern, and probably back on the Bodner next week with my Ricmo Tech pedals. So it'll be completely different. Anyway, that is today's race. I'm going to keep this somewhat short. Not a lot to talk about other than the race. If you haven't joined us, if you're watching and you planned on making it tonight, sorry if you missed the launch, because I know a couple guys did. And we will be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Pacific Time, West Coast Pacific Time, USA, for race number 2 of week 3. And I'm hoping I can do a little bit better than I did today. I usually find that on Friday we get a slightly different crowd, so you never know. Congratulations to everybody race. I hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed watching the race. And if you're not back for the race tomorrow, we will have a live show with the news tomorrow at 9 a.m. So if you want to join us for that, any new news in sim racing, we'll cover and talk about that. And then on Saturday, we're going to have our first wind tunnel inspired sim chat. And we're just going to each week bring up a new topic for discussion and just kind of talk about it till we're all done and then call it a day. This week's topic is, do you believe the hype? So F1 2017 just came out. Project Cars 2 is coming out. Gran Turismo is coming out. Forza is coming out. I have never seen so much marketing going on for 4 games in the history of my sim racing career. And I just wonder, is it all really, really, really worth it? Does it really translate to a better game? Does it translate to a better community? Does it translate to anything? The Sim Tunnel, El Bucho, I'm going to write that one down too. I used Sim Crew, Pit Crew is what everybody who contributes comes in, talks, joins the show. That makes you part of the Pit Crew. So we're calling it the Pit Stop for our morning news Monday through Friday, and maybe we'll make it the Sim Tunnel. That's perfect. That is the name. The Sim Tunnel on Saturdays. So, sorry, I have an itchy foot here. Yeah, Saturdays, the Sim Tunnel. I'm going to change the name of that on the schedule and make a graphic for it. I love it. So, and if you want to be part of the Pit Crew, you will show up on Saturday and join in for the discussion. So, again, I hope you enjoyed this race. If you didn't, please join us tomorrow for the race, whether you watch it or join in. I would always prefer you raced with us. You can always watch the stream later. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.